What is good, car enthusiasts? Welcome to today's video. So what I wanted to do is just put together 5 things that I love about my Shelby GT500. I mean, the list is in no particular order per se, and some of you might disagree. Hopefully some of you do agree. But drop a comment down below and let me know what you think is what stands out on a GT500. But this is just 5 things that stand out to me the most of my car. So let's jump into number 1 on the list. So for number 1, I'm going with the engine. It's got the 5.8 liter V8 supercharged engine. So it's a V8. Number 1, it's going to sound good. And number 2, supercharged. It's going to make a lot of power and a lot of torque. And this motor is based off the 5.4, just a little bit bigger. So, you know, Ford made a good motor, well developed, and it can go the distance as far as durability and longevity. We know that this car is advertised at 662 horsepower and 631 pound-feet of torque. But as we saw in the dyno, it seems like the car is making a little bit more horsepower than that. So that's always a plus too. Overall though, hats off to Ford for making a great engine, and that's number 1 on my list. Coming in at number 2, I'm gonna go with the 6-speed manual transmission gearbox that you can only get in these cars. So when the GT500s first came out, 07 through 14, you could only get them in a stick. I know the automatic transmissions these days are, you know, better, faster and more efficient, but back then we could only get them in a stick. There's just, from a car enthusiast perspective, there's really no more satisfying feeling in a car than being able to shift your own gears, row through the gears. And with the stick, you just have a better understanding of what your car is doing, how it works, and you're more like connected to your car from a driver's perspective. And I'm just glad that this car comes in a stick shift, because that's exactly what belongs in that type of car. Number 3 on the list are the taillights for the 13-14 Mustangs. So of the newer modern Mustangs right now in the market, I think, in my opinion, these 13 and 14 taillights are some of the best taillights on a Mustang, on a newer Mustang, period. The design looks great. The LED lights help it make it look more modern. In between each light, you know, it's blacked out, so it's smoked. So it really just flows very nicely together, along with the black deck lid across the back. And then at nighttime too, they look very, very cool all lit up. And they got the loading screen turn signals, which also just give that little extra pizzazz, a nice little touch to them. So everything looks great on the turn signals. Some people don't like them, which it's hard to understand why, but everybody has their own opinions, of course, on aesthetics. But overall, great looking taillights for a great looking car. Number 4 is the color combination on the GT500. This particular color is called Deep Impact Blue, and as soon as I saw it, I knew one day I wanted to have a Mustang in that color. So we had my GT first, which was Deep Impact Blue, and then we got the GT500 in Deep Impact Blue. They had a darker blue previous models before that, which was nice, but I wanted the 13 and 14, and the shade's a little bit different than 11 and 12. So great looking color, especially underneath the lights at nighttime under gas station lights. The color looks so good, almost like a purplish sometimes. Some angles you see the deep blue, and other angles, depending on sunlight and conditions, you can see a little bit lighter blue in the car too. But favorite color combination on these newer Mustangs by far. And coming in at number 5, this kind of is based off the engine a little bit, but I'm going to go with the exhaust. This car, because it's a V8, it has some of the best stock exhaust on a Mustang, in my opinion, of the newer ones. It sounds really, really good. And, you know, the V8, the bigger displacement, the 5.8, just helps the exhaust sound really, really nice. It's got a great tone. It's great volume too. Overall, just sounds great. And with a little bit of work that we did to the car, you know, we made it sound even better with just a set of mufflers on it too. But the stock exhaust still sounds great, so it's not necessary to make any changes to the exhaust whatsoever. Nothing wrong with stock. It still sounds just as good as what it is now. And for the last one, I'm just throwing a bonus out there. I'm going with the wheels on this car. This bird in particular has the track pack wheels. You can get the base model wheels or the track pack. Now, a lot of car enthusiasts, you know, they'll buy a car and they might not like the wheels that come on it from the factory. So it's nice that Ford and other manufacturers go out of the way to make a couple of different style wheels for these cars. So that way they kind of appeals to everybody's taste. And then, of course, there's a few people out there that still want to change it up. But it's nice that we have a nice option from the factory for different wheel options, because they do look really, really nice. Okay, guys, well, that's going to conclude this video for 5 things plus the bonus that I love about my GT500. We'll do 5 things that I don't like about the car in another video, but that's going to be it for this upload. And like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next video.